विदर्शा। आज हम सुनेंगे एक एमिनेंट इंडस्ट्री लीडर से जो कि कॉर्पोरेट इंडस्ट्री लीडर हैं, डाइवर्सिटी एंड इंक्लूजन में उन्होंने बहुत काम किया है। आज आप उनसे सुनेंगे डायरेक्टली कि चैलेंजेस क्या हैं और सोल्यूशन क्या है। सो डोंट फॉरगेट टू वॉच टुडेज एपिसोड क्रॉस द लाइन विद अर्शा। Hello and welcome to the brand new episode of Cross the Line with Arsha. I'm super charged and super excited today because the discussion and the topic is my favorite. आज हम बात करेंगे बहुत ज़्यादा कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर में किस तरह से डाइवर्सिटी, जेंडर डाइवर्सिटी किस तरह से प्रोग्रेस कर रही है या नहीं कर रही है, चैलेंजेस हैं, उनके क्या सोल्यूशन हैं। और इस सारे डिस्कशन के लिए द रीज़न व्हाई आई एम एक्साइटेड इज I have a very phenomenal industry leader with me. I have Hasan with me. Hasan has been in the industry for more than 22 years. He is an accomplished leader in his field. He has worked a lot in Pakistan, outside Pakistan, and today we are going to take advantage of his presence here and the experience he will share with us. So let's start the discussion. So thank you for joining in, Hasan. It's a great honor for us to have you here. And sorry we chased you a lot. We have been after you for so long and thank you very much for giving us time today. तो आज हम आपसे discussion करेंगे so our audience can take benefit of it. So you've been into this field, you've been into HR, you have very good business sense too. So आप हमें बताएं कि अगर आप ग्लोबली देखें या पाकिस्तान को कंपेयर करें तो आपको लगता है कि डाइवर्सिटी चैलेंजेस सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में हैं या ग्लोबली भी फेस हो रहे हैं?
I think diversity challenges are all over the world. So this diverse workforce term was coined in 1990s. और उसके बाद से different companies have started using it. But until more recently, I feel that it was more of a fad. A lot of that talk was there, but lesser actions. When I compare Pakistan with the West have moved slightly a few steps ahead of Pakistan because now they have put in different structures around it as well. So they've taken some steps. But even then, if I look at the success of diversity even in the West, the percentages in Fortune 500, FTSE 100 are relatively less. So I think it's still getting traction. लेकिन अगर हम देखें कि senior leadership positions में the percentages are still less than 20-25% in Fortune 500 and FTSE. So it's getting traction, but they have some.
So आपको लगता है कि challenges हर जगह, सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में नहीं है, बाहर भी। तो अब हम narrow down करते हैं to Pakistan, to the industry we work and other industry. You see, do you think there's a difference industry to industry? There are industry where it's easier to have diversity.
There is difference, I believe, from industry to industry, and some industries have done very well. हम वो pockets में कुछ industries, कुछ companies का सुनते हैं जहाँ पे उन्होंने small to medium enterprise में women को बहुत successfully induct किया है. We hear examples of some companies in places like Sialkot, in some sectors where they have very successfully integrated. Agri-business में, there's a different type of contribution. But अगर हम FMCG और बाकी companies में देखें, I think the challenge is slightly bigger because very clearly it's coming out as a very male-dominated industry, and that change is still happening. So there are parts of the businesses जहाँ पे stereotypes हैं कि ये तो
role सिर्फ male के करने वाला है.
So that mindset is still there. So it's
So since I have the opportunity to work with you and I know Hasan quite in action, I've seen you and I've seen you're very sensitized and you have done a lot which is not coming out of the strategies, which is not coming out of the policies. So outside policy, you have set some examples. So tell our audience about it, what makes you do that?
I don't know. I mean, देखें as a leadership, in the leadership roles, you decide for yourself आप किन चीज़ों को enjoy करते हैं and क्या legacy छोड़ना चाहते हैं. So I've spent 23 years in my career. So if I look at it, I mean the one thing that from my first phase of career where I spent 16 years with one multinational in different markets, the biggest kick that I got was developing talent, really enabling them to go and achieve their 100% potential.
Very
So I
nice.
think that has given me a lot more encouragement to continue doing it. So that's my personal ambition,
So
because
you
I get
see-
a lot of satisfaction.
So,
Yeah.
what I understand from here, that for you, the individual is a talent.
Yeah.
It's not the gender.
Yeah.
And that is where, I mean, you differentiate as a leader, that you see a role as a role, a job as a job, and you don't see that ये job जो है ये औरत अच्छी तरह कर सकती है, ये do you want to give the same, do you want to inspire other leaders to see like that? There could be some challenges also here.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that, you know, if you create a good success story, then others are more inspired as well, because just telling them may not. Because ये culture के context में, if you look at it, you know, the culture के बारे में मैं हमेशा बात करता हूँ कि until it's part of your belief system,
Yeah.
you know, people would not do it generally. So that's what is happening with diversity and inclusion as well. It is there in terms of artifacts. People have changed the outlook of their organizations. You know, maybe put up a few statements here and there, लेकिन वो deeper level पे जाके underlying assumptions ही change की. So I feel that, you know, if you create those bubbles of sanity, other people will be encouraged as well. I'll give you one example.
Yeah.
My current HR leadership team is very diverse in terms of gender, in terms of ethnic backgrounds, in terms of service levels,
Thoughts,
education,
education.
thoughts, perspectives. And that's what makes it a dream team. I
Absolutely.
call it everywhere. And other people realize that. Even in our organization, people talk about it. So it's a great thing that, you know, you create that success model and then other people follow as well.
Excellent. But I think you had your challenges in that too. You had
Yeah.
your challenges.
Yeah.
And then you faced them. It did not stop you from making your team a dream team.
Because I believe that a diverse team would do a better job. So I honestly believed in it. That's why I did it.
Yeah.
Because the perspectives that I get from diverse team, I mean, I don't carry those perspectives. So that's the beauty. And I think when we talk about females having some limiting beliefs, I feel that a lot of men have limiting beliefs as well. So that's why I talk about talent and people and liberating them from any fears. I feel that no one can give 100% potential, perform to their fullest potential, if they are living with any fears, be it female or be it male.
Excellent. I think that's the excellent thought, and that is where Cross the Line comes in. That is why, that is the thought where this program is generated. So that's the beautiful point you brought in, Hasan. So do you think that could be the reason that a lot of companies, or most of the companies, have D&I strategies and policies, but they're not able to achieve their targets?
That's right. So I'll give you one or two examples. So those companies put up D&I statements and create a lot of awareness, but then it stops there. अगर उन कंपनीज के पास जाएं और मैं उनसे पूछूं कि आप मुझे JDs दिखाएं, what kind of person specifications you have in the JDs? Those person specifications typically would be from their past legacy. So we as leaders think that what has made us successful, we should continue doing the same, ignoring the fact that, you know, there is more gender diversity, there is more generational diversity, there is more ethnic diversity in our workforce. नहीं, जिस चीज ने हमारे लिए काम किया है, हम उसी तरह करेंगे. So your JDs is one example. The other example is you say that, you know, we need diversity of perspectives, but then how do leaders behave when they get a challenge? When they are challenged by the others from a different perspective, coming from a different background, so how do they react to it? I think that's where the
challenge
underlying assumptions
That
come.
is where the challenge is. So you feel that, you know, there's a lot of pep talk around it, but there's very less action, because action requires a lot of effort, and that effort is missing.
I think that
In most
that conviction, that belief, and willingness to change yourself is missing. So and the other thing is that, you know, a lot of the boardrooms full of men talking about the diversity and signing off on the
that is
diversity
where I was
strategies. That doesn't work.
No,
So you got to empower the women to take the lead. Women and the millennials, you know, they drive the strategy. They become part of it.
So मैं उधर ही आ रही थी. तो since I've seen you working and I work with you, So how do you feel in boardrooms full of men? I mean, and you are quite sensitized, but do you see other leaders also? I put you on the spot. That is what I want in this show, you know, candid responses.
I think the more we talk about it, and even if there are smaller number of genuine leaders, they are authentic leaders, the needle will start moving. So at this point in time, people may be very genuine about the diversity agenda, but they have their own definition of
तो
diversity.
समझ आता है कि actually diversity है क्या? I mean, do you think लोगों को इतना भी
अभी
पता
आई
है?
थिंक काफ़ी हद तक अक्रॉस द इंडस्ट्रीज अगर हम देखें तो अभी भी लोग हैं जो डाइवर्सिटी को इसलिए करते हैं कि दैट्स अ कॉर्पोरेट
That's
दैट्स अ कॉर्पोरेट ऑब्जेक्टिव.
That's a statement they want to have.
हमें करना है. सो जेन्युइनली बिलीविंग कि डाइवर्सिटी विल ऐड टू देयर परफॉर्मेंस. I mean, I don't know. अब तो global studies भी हैं which prove that fact, you know, ethnic diversity and the gender diversity having a much bigger impact on the business. But यहाँ पे नहीं है. And the other thing that you also find out a lot is कि हम invest करेंगे, but you know, the females will quit their career at some stage, so our investment will go waste.
So what do you think? So in a woman's life, there's a stages she goes through, you know, from marriage to maternity to having babies. So what do you think कि organizations का, या अगर organizations की limitation है, तो leaders किस तरह इन stages पे भी, क्योंकि ये vulnerable stages होती हैं, जहाँ पे अगर आप trend देखें तो यहाँ पे आपको ज़्यादा इस टाइम पे turnover नजर आता है. So आपकी ज़ाती राय क्या है?
I think we got to enable that as well. Genuinely, in Pakistan, that's where we are lacking from the West in a big way. So we don't have the part-time, flexible work arrangements which are very established in the West, and that enables the women to continue through these phases very easily.
Challenges क्या है? क्यों organization adopt नहीं कर रही है इस तरह की policies?
Probably one of the factors in Pakistan could be that we have talent available, right? We have talent available. Okay, so why to facilitate and go through that risk? हम किसी और को रख सकते हैं full time. तो let's bring up a youngster from the market who can be there for full time. So that could be a mindset over here as well.
उसको, I mean, they don't want to put in that effort कि अभी you know, or they don't have that much patience, and they have enough talent out there, and they don't want to put up with this.
Yeah, they have the talent available maybe, so that's why they're thinking. But also, you know, probably a risk-averse approach as well, so they feel more comfortable having someone there full time, etc.
क्योंकि in my experience, you can have diversity in your workplace, but the retention remains the question. और ये in terms of gender diversity, these challenges will remain there.
Yeah.
So आपको लगता है कि at times from the other side, like women, they also don't want to put up an effort, or they also don't want to go through the challenge, or they feel lack of confidence when, you know, that kind of a challenging time comes up. अब बच्चा बीमार है और emotional pressure है और society का pressure है. You think उस side पे भी बड़ा काम होने वाला है?
Social environment does affect a lot. So हमारी evolution जो हो रही है वो I think on the social side also is taking place. So the families are also adapting to this concept that the women are having full-time careers as well. In some places, in some families, they've overcome that, and other families are still going through that. So वो एक element है which also can impact on the confidence of the women. In the workplace, I often hear, you know, the women confidence and all of that. I honestly believe that, you know, if the women are not feeling confident, then it's the fault of the environment and culture, not the women. So that's where, I mean, when I talk about enabling and liberating from the fears, I genuinely believe that leaders can have bigger impact. Maybe they don't know, but leaders can have big impact, liberating them from that any barriers that you have.
You've been coached to a lot of women, and you've been coached to a lot of younger generation.
Yeah.
So आपका experience क्या कहता है? I mean, coaching से और उनको थोड़ा सा calm down करने से, ease down करने से, they pass through the challenge, or they still?
I think they do. I just feel that, you know, someone that they look up to can have a big impact on their limiting beliefs. You know, they can really bring fullest potential out there. थोड़ी सी इंकरेजमेंट चाहिए होती है, थोड़ी सी इंकरेजमेंट चाहिए होती है, और उनको ये भी बताना होता है कि यू नो यू हैव टू अडेप्ट टू डिफरेंट एनवायरनमेंट्स, बट यू डोंट हैव टू गिव अप योर इंडिविजुअलिटी. सो बी योरसेल्फ. हमें तुम इसी तरह चाहिए हो, you know, so don't give up that individuality. You will adapt to the environment's culture, and that encouragement, I mean, does wonder. I've seen in the organization place a lot of people that you would know as well have shown within a span of 6 months when they were given bigger responsibilities, and now the whole organization is talking about that.
So तो क्या वजह थी कि वो कॉन्फिडेंस उनमें पहले नहीं था? So was that your coaching और क्या, I mean, how would you sum up that success story?
I think few things that I say, I tell a lot of people as well. You know, encouraging them to taking leadership of self. Be clear what you want to do, and you know, then go for it. Don't be a powerless victim. I often say that.
That is where I'm.
You know, so ये हो जाएगा, वो boss ऐसा है, वो ऐसे सोचेगा. Don't think about it. I use a terminology very often in my team that you know, मैं कहता हूँ खुल के खेलो. You know, you don't have to prove anything. So when you tell someone you don't have anything to prove, you know, I think that's where probably the barriers start going down, and they start bringing their best, because ये glass ceiling, ये barriers, ये सब आपके mind में होते हैं.
यहाँ पे
mind में होते हैं.
So मेरा जो personal experience है, और ये जो term आपने use की, खुल के खेलो, और you know I'm behind you, and you know you can do this, ये सिर्फ terms नहीं है. They actually change something in you. So मेरा जो अपना ज़ाती तजुर्बा है हसन के साथ, you know, during my career and you know the way we work together, so there has been times when you know I was about to give up, and you know यही जो terms है कि खुल के खेलो और परेशान नहीं हो, and you can do it, these terms they make wonders, they create wonders for, especially for women and especially for our younger generation who need this confidence from our leaders, who need this confidence from people like Hasan, people like who are in leadership roles. So Hasan, that's, I think that's the great thought, and I think a lot of leaders should follow.
Why don't you share your own transition moving into the business partner commercial, which is a male dominated sales, very experienced kind of environment, and out there working in the trade, and you know they're interacting with all the
room full of men, you know, strong,
right.
dominating men, and you know, that was the turning point coming into my career about 2 years back, when you know Hasan was the one who said that you should do this role, and I was the one who was like, no, I can't do it. इतने बंदे, इतना strong male dominated तो मुझसे नहीं होगा, मुझे तो करने दें जो मैं कर रही हूँ. And he was the one who pushed me, and believe me, that is the turning point. The way I'm sitting here and talking today, it was not like that 2 years back. And just because the confidence as a coach, as a mentor, he gave it to me. यही वो कॉन्फिडेंस है जो हमारे लीडर्स को पास ऑन करना है, टू हैव दैट डाइवर्सिटी रिटेन इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, इन द कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर, इन द ट्रू मीनिंग, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द नंबर्स, नॉट जस्ट फॉर द बोर्ड ऑफ डायरेक्टर मीटिंग कि हमारे पास इतना नंबर है, इतना नहीं, सही मायने में, इन लिटरल ट्रू स्पिरिट. हमें ये जो हसन इस वक्त प्रैक्टिस कर रहे हैं, ये बाकी लीडर्स को करनी है. So आपने मुझे ही मेरे शो पे example success story बता दिया, and I'm thankful to that.
So I think you got to overcome that you are a female in that environment and just be yourself.
You have to forget
and
that.
As a female, you bring in some additional characteristics that probably you know at times men are missing as well. So a new perspective, new set of competencies, leadership capabilities as well brought in there, and that makes it work.
So मुझे ये बताएं that you have a very beautiful and confident daughter, and I have seen you the way you mentor her. It's not like the way every father does it. So what makes you do that?
I don't know if I mentor her or not, but
she mentors you.
She is the boss. So she is the boss.
Yes.
I remember when she was very little, if I remember, literally 3.5 years or 4 years. And I came back home and she sat in my lap and my belt buckle somehow usko hurt kiya. Next day when I came in, I walked into my room, into the house, and she had that cardboard written, As soon as you walk in, take off your belt
Oh my
now.
God.
Now.
Oh my God.
Before
She's
I
really
walked
bold,
in,
Nana.
I did that. So I think it's just that giving her space, listening to her ideas. Uh, Whenever we are discussing on certain things, we call her in and we ask for opinion. Even to the extent that sometimes we are getting ready for the formal functions, I would call her in and I'll ask for her opinion.
Oh wow.
And her opinion
And she's
matters
like
in the
14
house
years old?
decisions. She is 14.
14 years
Yeah.
old, a 14-year-old girl. I mean, the way, so, that comes then job strategies या practices आप अपने corporate sector में, अपने work में use करते हैं. That is how you are at home also.
I think
Pro
yeah.
for everybody's.
So I think unless you encourage people to give in their opinions, give in their perspectives, they won't grow, they won't learn, they won't get the full confidence. So that's what we try to do in the teams. Any team that doesn't have any challenge, I believe probably their team is redundant, that is not needed. So unless you have the right kind of challenge and people genuinely bring in their ideas, only then you get to the right decision. So that's what I practice, and it helps me a lot.
I know.
It's very rarely that I
know.
have overturned my team's decision, but generally, if 6 of my team members have taken a decision, I'm happy to go with it.
Yes, and I've seen that. I have witnessed that, and I wanted other leaders to know that this is how a leader should be. So मुझे ये बताएं कि अब जाहिर बात है मैं अंदर का बंदा हूँ, मुझे पता ही है चीज़ें. So at times I've seen you taking strong stance in terms of development of your team.
You have to, as a leader.
आप उनको push भी करते हैं, challenge भी करते हैं,
Yeah.
and your team and their teams on a larger extent.
Yeah.
So that is for that push and challenge is for their development.
For their development. So मेरा ये dilemma है कि people would come up with their career advice from my past life, but also in my current role as well internally. So I would be very genuine in my advice and coaching with them. So coaching का एक principle है, you can't be selfish. So you have to do it for the best interest of the individual, not for company or for yourself. So that's what I try. I sometimes I feel uncomfortable as well because the coaching and advice would be जिससे उसको फायदा. So that's what I try to do as well, and and people benefit from it in the job as well, and hopefully in their lives in some way.
Excellent, very nice. So talking about the generational diversity, and you coach and mentor them also. We just had a program, full length program on millennials also. So what is your experience? Is it are they looking for any direction from us or not? What do you think?
I think they are. First thing is that I generally जब ये discussion होती है, I try to be part of the Gen Y and Gen Z.
Yeah.
So I can behave like them as well. So that helps me to relate well with them. So we can do crazy things. I see कि वो जो इंसान ना एक अपने ऊपर एक shell लेके काम कर रहे होते हैं. So they operate with that कि हम शायद Gen X की तरह लगे, behave करें, and that will make us successful. So I help them to really encourage to be themselves as well. So you got to adapt. You got to adapt certain things. Very simple example I tell Pakistan में खास तौर पे कि don't be a yes sir man. That won't add any value to your business. Maybe short term. अब उसको if you want to be assertive, you have to be assertive in the right manner, which suits the different generations as well, the senior generations. So be respectful, but you have to be assertive. So इस तरह की चीजें हैं which I help them so they can be themselves and they come up with their genuine ideas.
So do you think corporate sector में or other organization में the focus is only on the gender diversity and they should have a focus on generation diversity, because 60 to 70% right now workforce is millennials.
And it will be 75% by 2025.
Wow.
So it is a growing challenge. Again, challenge वही है जो gender diversity में बात की कि boardroom full of men over 40s talking about the generational challenges, etc. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you got to make certain strategies to make them more inclusive. lot of strategies जहाँ पे आप उनको involve करें.
लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है लीडरशिप रोल्स में, एक तो हमारा चैलेंज है विमेन की साइड पे, वहाँ पे हमें फिर भी ब्रेक थ्रू मिल जाता है, बट जनरेशनल साइड पे देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ फियर ऑफ गिविंग देम लीडरशिप रोल्स इन अर्ली एज, लाइक इन अर्ली 30s or mid 30s.
Yeah. My personal experience when I was very blessed to have a role at the leadership team at a relatively young age, I gave a lot of credit to my seniors at that time. So that makes me reflect कि जो senior leaders हैं, it depends a lot on them. कि वो आपको कैसे include करें into the process, and understanding that you have a different perspective, you have different energy, you will be talking a lot, you will be challenging a lot, but how to channelize that into the betterment of the business. So I give all my credit to my senior peers at that time.
Excellent.
Working on the
And that is the
leadership
reason you now
we have
give
to
it back?
give it back. We have to give
Excellent,
it back.
excellent. अच्छा हसन, हमने एक थोड़ा सा सरप्राइज रखा है और हमने आपको बताया नहीं है. So we have a basket here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can get that. It's a very nice basket.
Okay.
But first you have to do a little effort. So हमारा एक रैपिड फायर क्वेश्चन.
Okay.
और हम आपसे कुछ कैंडिड क्वेश्चंस पूछेंगे और आपको जल्दी जल्दी उनका हमें जवाब देना होगा.
तो आपको मैं झूठ भी नहीं बोल सकता.
मुझे नहीं बोल सकते बिकॉज आई नो, और मैंने सवाल भी वैसे ही रखे. या सो इफ यू हैव टू पिक सुपर हीरोज, सो आप कौन सा सुपर हीरो बनना चाहेंगे?
अब यहाँ पे आपने पकड़ लिया ना. I'll tell you Generation X for a superhero.
कोई बात
I think Spider-Man. Lot more fun, working with people, enabling
hopping
people,
here and there,
very colorful as
very
well.
colorful.
So,
You know that.
jumping around, high energy.
You know, you like colors and you like to jump around. All right, your favorite vacation place?
Favorite vacation place? I think the most unique one was Masai Mara. Completely different
Wow.
wilderness and nature close
Very
to nature.
nice, excellent. Your first crush? Yeah, quickly, don't have to think so much.
हाँ मेरी बेगम यार.
That's a politically correct answer, but we give it to you. We know she's very sweet.
I always tell her कि इतने साल शादी और उससे पहले, so it's a long association.
Mashallah, mashallah. Any tattoos you have anywhere? No, you want?
No.
No, all right. So how long it takes you to get ready? आप तैयार होने में टाइम लगाते हैं?
टाइम लेता हूँ, मैं टाइम लेता हूँ
कितना?
काफी
एक
काफी
घंटा,
time
डेढ़
लेता हूँ.
घंटा?
So typically when I am going for a formal occasion, तो मेरा कमरा भर जाता है. दो तीन कोट्स निकले होते हैं, टाइज दो तीन निकली होती हैं, फिर बेटी has to come in, बेगम has to come in.
And she has to use her leadership
Yeah,
skills.
yeah,
Your daughter.
yeah.
All right.
My kids make, my friends, old friends also make a lot of jokes about me getting ready.
iPhone or Samsung?
iPhone.
iPhone. I knew it. All the Samsung guys, you're killed. All right. Now you have to you have to tell me what comes to your mind when I say these words. All right. Passion.
Passion. Energy.
Success.
Happy.
Love.
Enduring.
Drama queen.
Ali Akbar.
That's for you, Ali. Food court.
Never.
There's a story behind food court. I'm not going to tell here. All right. Chicken or dumba?
Fish.
There's a story. No,
I have to be
that's
politically correct, so
Yes.
I can't say either.
Oh my god, I missed that. All right, last. Your favorite song, all-time favorite song, and we'll sing along with you.
You know that. वो बीते
दिन याद है, वो पल छिन याद है, गुजारे तेरे संग जो, लगा के तुझे अंग जो. हाँ, नाइस, ब्रिलियंट. वाकई आई न्यू दैट हसन का फेवरेट सॉन्ग है और ये बहुत सुनते भी हैं, और जब गाने शाने बजते हैं तो ये ज़रूर इसको दे लाइक टू सिंग अलोंग. So that brings us to the end of the program. Thank you so much, Hasan, for coming here. I forgot to give you the hamper. So here goes the hamper. He did a great job.
I earned it.
He earned it. Yeah, truly earned it because we took him surprise here. So thank you very much. I truly, impressed and honored with the thoughts you have shared, and I really expect that हम ये leadership practices follow करें तो हमारे corporate sector में बहुत सारी चीज़ें improve हो सकती हैं जिसकी अभी ज़रूरत है, especially in terms of gender diversity and genderless diversity, because that is the future. So unless and until we really believe in it, we can't really improve it. So thank you very much, and don't forget to watch next episode of Cross the Line with Hasan.